Hello everybody, welcome back. It is just an ugly day outside. We're in the kitchen because I want to show you what's going on in my front yard right now. Bear in mind this is only the 3rd of October, okay? But anyway, I found something gardening related to do today, so I'm going to share that with you. But first, look how much this sucks, okay? There I go, and do you see what's going on there? Tragically, this old camera doesn't want to focus through the snow out there, but I think that kind of proves the point well enough. The snow stuck on the window kind of shows that I'm not doing much gardening out there, am I? Peppers on the windowsill are doing great though. Here's that Reaper while we're here. I have been squishing a few aphids. I have yet to put any fertilizer in any of these plants, and I have to say, so far things are not aphid free, but definitely aphid reduced. Looking good, looking good. Not quite sure how well they're going to grow with the snow blocking their light, but hey, this is a garden experimenting channel. We're here to find things out. Okay, so welcome back into the dungeon, where today I am avoiding the fact that even though it's only early October and it's snowing outside, you know, I could still find something gardening related to do. This is what I am doing. Here we have a bunch of cuttings from a plant that we were given when we first got here that was earlier on identified to me as a Flaming Katy. I have yet to see any flowers from this, so I have no way to, well, confirm or deny that. But it has grown incredibly well. This is another one of those plants that, when left to its own devices in Fuzzy's room, went just nuts. So, I have 11 cuttings for this today, and I thought I would bring you along as I go about propagating more houseplants. In this case, you know, a bunch of Flaming Katies. So, show you just how easy it is to get this done. Here, in a couple of coffee cans, oh, what a surprise, Folgers. Oh, hey, I still haven't gotten a sponsorship from them. Anyway, what I've got is a bunch of the nicer stuff from the first stage of the dungeon compost bins. I'll just show you what that is really quickly here before we carry on. For those of you new kids to the class, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to sub and click like and share it with your friends and all that. How this works is I have surprisingly got a 3-stage compost system going in my basement dungeon garden here. This is stage 1. This is where plants get initially dumped, just kind of wholesale. You'll see a lot of recycled potting soil and all kinds of things in there. And I've just taken the garden spade, because clearly we can't use it for anything outside, scooped out, you know, the nicer looking, basically just soil stuff. There are a few worms kind of free ranging in there, not a whole lot of them. Most of them gotten moved into this underneath my rosemary in the planter, the fabric planter there. We have a 2-stage worm compost system. The lower bucket has some spacers in it so that excessive amounts of moisture can drip through. The top stage has, well, some pre-done compost and a lot of the turnings from this. I did kind of go through this not that long ago and turn it into there. And the 3rd stage of this is when it finally gets sifted, it ends up over here in my basically ready to use bucket. I have had a few random seeds that still pop up in this, but I mean, what do you do? It's not like it's hitting 200 degrees down here. I am, after all, in a Manitoba, Canada basement with my gardening. So, yeah, this does seem to work fairly well, though, to give me something, you know, half decent as a semi-finished product there. I keep hitting all of these things. My carrot tops, dried carrot tops. Great fish food though. Totally off topic. Anyway, so I have finally worked this out. I now have a 3-stage compost system. What I'm planting in today came from here because they're just house plants. It doesn't really matter to me too much what kind of soil they're in. And this year I'm planting straight into just peat moss. So, yeah. So around here I've got a lot of those so-called disposable party caps that I use for planting things. I'm just going to take some of the used ones here and use them for starting our cuttings. Just going to fill that up with that, well, essentially potting soil for the most part. With a little bit of organic material in there. Put that aside for now. Got another coffee can here we're going to use to collect our debris. It's all compostable, isn't it? And we're just going to start snipping the bases of these leaves all the way up. So this goes all the way down into our soil. And then I'm just going to rudely shove this thing right in there. And in my experience, that is that. I've managed to root a few of these since we were given them. The original plant is still quite small because I have harvested it, like I said, a few times. And this is the one from Fuzzy's room, which for some reason is just huge. I'm going to have to look into the light spectrums on his lamp. Oh, I didn't even prep another cup yet. Alright, so grab another cup here. Anyway, so yeah, I was just saying I'm going to have to look into the lighting spectrums on his bedroom lamp and see what kind of combo is going on there. I think he's got a couple of bulbs that are closer to the 3000 range, but most of them are in that 6500. At least 5000 for sure, because they've got that kind of a blue quality to the light. Now I could have gone a little bit deeper with that one, but I got impatient because I started cutting before I prepped my cup. So that's probably from talking to the camera while I'm doing it. A distracted dog, I tell you what. So I will put that to the side, finish these up, and we'll carry on playing in the dungeon. Just want to show you really quickly. See that little white stripe in the middle? That is actually the beginning of basically a root of opportunity. We found some moisture in the air. It figured, what the heck, I'd throw some roots out. So that's going to be a very small cutting, but with a good chance of success. Alright, well that was certainly more fun than staring out the window moping because it's snowing and feeling sorry for myself. I thought I was coming down here making 11 cuttings, but we got what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 cuttings out of that instead, because some of them just had some really tiny offshoots. That's why you'll see these ones with the humidomes. They are just itty bitty baby things, and some of these are just monsters. So I am really very excited, and I wouldn't be surprised if more than half of those do successfully root for us and become houseplants, with at least half of those going out into the community somewhere. But while we're at the Darwin table, here are those seeds that I thought were the Naga Vipers. Just the one coming up in this cup so far. And Punky had suggested that maybe she mixed up the tomato and pepper seeds, and I was like, nah, there's no way I wouldn't be able to tell them apart, but it's looking more and more like I couldn't tell them apart. So I think I am going to let these little black cherry tomatoes, they're basically like an indigo rose type tomato, I think she said. I'm going to let them grow, try and keep them reasonable, even though I have like 9 months before tomatoes can go outside, so they're probably going to be a big part of next year's tomato forest. And we are going to try planting the tomato seeds to see if they give us pepper seedlings that will hopefully be those Naga Vipers. So that's going to be fun. We'll get that done in the next couple of weeks, because right now I am testing sprouting theory. I've got 18 paper lantern seeds here in just peat moss, and in the back I've got 18 garden salsa seeds, just peat moss. They did end up with a little more moisture in that back section than I would prefer, and you'll notice I've got all those little peat pucks in the top. Those are kind of to suck up any extra moisture that might be sitting there, so I don't overwater this again. Now, I have no humidome on this. I am hoping that this will work as is. I don't have a heat mat under it, nothing. But it's on average 70 degrees down here on the Darwin table. I've got this little secondary thermometer, reads up on something upstairs. So actually it's been funny because I've been able to keep it warmer in the basement as we're going into winter than it is in the rest of the house. That is a video discussion for another day though. But yeah, so right now I'm testing sprouting theory in just the peat moss instead of any of the recycled soil or any of that junk, and it is a lot cheaper than, you know, seed starting mix. But if I have to go there, I will. I want to get something sprouting before I put down any more seeds that were given to me by you awesome viewers, because you guys took the time to save them and send them to me, and I'm tired of killing your efforts. So Yes, I want to be sure that I'm going to be able to sprout something here first. And as you may recall, sprout rates are part of the reason I'm so fascinated by that stupid Miracle-Gro AeroGarden thing anyway, and I still haven't ruled it out. I'm probably going to buy one. However, the smallest one that I was interested in that could sprout like 15 seeds at once no longer seems to have a seeding tray available, so I'm going to have to look around for that. If I can't find it, well, it's a few $100s for the one that I want, but you know what? I still think it's worth it because the seeding tray at that size is like 50. So if I could start 50 little pepper plants all at once with a, even a 75% chance of them going, that's, well, twice the pepper crop that I had outside last year. So to me, that's worth the expense at least once, and I'll be able to use it again and again and again and again and again. So, yeah. All right, I think that is where I'm going to wrap it up today, though, because I got to go back up and start shoveling that crap in my driveway so I can get the Jeep out. But I thought it would be fun to do something kind of garden related, positive, play in the dirt, just bear stuff. And I figured I would bring you guys along with me. So whatever state your garden season is in, I hope you find a way to amuse yourselves today. And yeah, go play in the dirt. I'll see you guys on Sunday for sure, but hopefully between now and then. One way to find out, I guess.